Okay. Chapter 1. Once upon a time, there was a 62-year-old man who was pretty normal, except that's not what other people thought about him. And he had an idea. He used to do stand-up, and then he thought, I really love doing this internet TV show stuff. And then he decided that going from comedy to a show where print would be alive, because books and the printed word are a thing of the past, and everybody is going into electronic tech. So I decided I would create a game show. So welcome to Right to Speak, everybody, the game show that didn't happen yet. And my special guest is Jack Cloonan.
What's up?
How's it going? And we have my other guest, Nigel Fullerton, will be here in a while. And I think he's being interviewed because he'll tell us about it when he comes. He was in a movie where he played Biggie Smalls.
Oh yeah,
in a
I saw
movie
the
or a TV
picture
show.
on Facebook.
Yeah. Yes, he's here, so he'll be coming. That was that little ding you heard. And then we'll talk about Right to Speak. And I know you're a stand-up comedian.
Yes, I am.
Right?
At least I think so.
And you're a stand-up comic, and I wrote to you about, you've been on other shows I've done.
Yeah.
So you thought this was interesting, but I know it's a show where you write and you speak. That's what I wanted the show, because I like books. I like the printed word. And do you read? Are you somebody?
Not
Jack?
books.
You don't read
really.
books. What do you read?
Just Facebook and.
You just read Facebook? That's not reading.
So no,
do you
I don't
read
books.
Stories or poetry?
Sometimes.
Do you have any interest in that?
Not really. I don't read. It drives my mom crazy. My mom's a librarian.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
she's always telling me to read. And I'm
what
like,
library?
Longwood.
Yeah, I used to
Longwood
hang
Public.
out there.
You
Yeah.
did? Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I hung out in libraries. Other people hang out on a street corner or in an alley or a nightclub. I'm hanging out in the library. There's some great things. And I used to live near Longwood. So he's coming, and then we'll talk some more.
Hey.
Welcome, Nigel Fullerton. Yeah. How you doing, buddy?
Hey,
How are
what's
you?
up? How's it going?
You remember Jack?
I do.
What's
I
up,
do.
Nigel?
Hey.
Nigel Fullerton, another stand-up comedian, actor, writer.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And kazoo player. Yes.
Yeah, hey, we can all play our kazoos.
Look. Okay.
And then we'll talk. I know you just did an interview was that because of that movie? What was that, a movie you made?
Yeah, I did a movie. It was out on Sundance this year, and
cool.
It's going to be in films soon. It's going to be on
in films,
in
theaters.
In theaters
Really,
soon.
it's going to be in actual theaters.
I got excited about the kazoo, so I didn't know what to say.
All right, so it doesn't work.
That's how it works.
Yeah, you got to make your own.
Hey, you got to make.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, now you play Biggie Smalls in this movie?
No.
That's
Your
what I thought.
information as well. No,
My information comes from Facebook, and you missed the beginning.
That's where all the fake news happens.
Yeah.
That's where Donald Trump gets his news from. That's why he calls it fake. Basically, no. I was in a documentary on Fox with Ice-T.
Okay.
Called Who Shot Biggie and Tupac, and that's where I played Biggie Smalls. That's the one you're looking at.
That's
Is that the
but that's
picture
not.
you put up?
Yes.
I saw the picture. Yeah,
Yes,
that was pretty
yes.
funny.
It's still on demand on Fox On Demand if you have Optimum.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So
All right.
Yeah. Now, what is this film that's going to be in?
Oh, the film that I did. It's produced by Forrest Whitaker. It's called Roxanne.
wow.
Roxanne. It's a coming-of-age tale about a young girl who falls in love with the wrong man. I'm not playing that man, but I'm one of her friends.
So you have a good size role?
I
in
got
it?
a good size role, and I'm in the concert scene at least. I'm on stage with her, so at least I'll make the trailer, right?
Well, like my friends always tell me,
Yeah.
there are no small parts.
There are no small parts.
Right? Only small actors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm
and
not a small
you're
guy.
not a small guy. So.
This guy's a big movie star. I got my elbow shown in Chris Roach's parody music video. So how about that? Take that,
listen,
huh?
Listen, that's big time. If you're in a Chris Roach video, I didn't get asked to be in that video. You did, so.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
When you get the tape on the Long Island Railroad.
Yeah. Forget Hollywood beaches and Hawaii and all that.
My God.
No, the Long Island Railroad train car in Hicksville is where it's at.
And what was the name of that video? So we give a plug.
Ronkonkoma.
And Chris Roach, for the people who don't know, Chris Roach plays Mott on Kevin Can Wait.
Yes.
On Kevin James' new show.
Yes.
And he plays Mott. So, and he's very funny. He's a character everybody loves.
Salute
Very
to
nice.
him. There we go. I have asthma, so it was kind of delayed.
So we're talking.
I told some friends to watch it. They're watching this right now. What did you tell me to watch? You're blowing kazoos. What is this?
Yeah, keep talking. Keep talking. I want to share some more. For the people who are watching us on Facebook, I don't have a chance. We don't have anyone that could tell us this person said hi. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody who's taking the time to watch this show. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you
hi.
very much.
And a big shout out to my wife Nancy, who does publicity on social media.
I love Nancy.
For everybody.
Hi, Nancy.
Nancy's the best.
So Nancy, I hope you're watching. We love you. You do. She does publicity for anybody.
I know.
So
She shares it. I get the notifications. She shares everything.
Oh yeah, you get you're notified by her?
your page or whatever.
Oh, on my yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a few different pages. I know.
He's big time now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm big
time.
on social media. I've got close to 2,000 friends. I can't believe it.
He's in a Facebook battle with Stevie GB. You should see it. It's hilarious.
Stevie GB's, he's all right. It's actually Stevie GB does. He does. Him and Alan Streisfeld go for the biggest puns that you could go for. They write.
I love them.
They're great
So
joke
many
writers
too.
and stuff.
So many. It's like 10 every day.
Alan
from
Streisfeld is the best too.
I haven't seen him in a long time. Tell him
I haven't seen him. I see him on Facebook. Stevie
okay.
GB, we talk to.
Stevie GB's always on Facebook.
It's
He lives.
Complaining about liberals.
Yes.
become. I don't even want to get into
It's
politics.
liberals, or you can see me at Gateway. That's
All right.
Those two things.
I don't like liberals either because of him now. I think he swayed me.
So let's talk about this show, okay? And we'll talk more about you guys. But we'll talk about when you first were coming to this show, I told you I wanted to do a literary game show.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure what you were talking about.
Yeah, you emailed me the idea and the rules, and then I texted you back. I'm like, I'll do it, but I have no idea what you're talking
I
about.
have no clue.
So I made a video. We'll go over it in a little bit. We'll put the video on. I made an instructional video because my idea was why I wanted to do this was another love of mine besides comedy and acting is I love to read.
Okay.
I love to write. You know, I also love to write. So I thought print is kind of dead. Bookstores are going by the wayside.
I'd agree with that.
You know, libraries. Your mother is a librarian.
Yeah.
I love the library, but a lot of people go to the library and they don't look at the books.
Yeah, it's just movies.
I
They
used
go
to
for
work
it.
at a library.
You did?
You did?
Yeah, I did. I was like the largest person there. Every time I walked, it creaked.
Where was this
Which
library?
one?
This was in it was up on 110 all the way, and I think it was Melville Library. I used to work.
Oh yeah. And
'cause
do you like to read?
at that time, yes. Now I hold books like hostages. Like I just
Why? What does that mean?
you give me a book and I'm like, hey, you should read this. And I'm like, all right, fine. And I never give it back.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Okay.
See, I'm of the generation, we just wait for the movie to come out, and then we watch
Oh, that was me too.
Yeah.
Oh, but that stinks.
All my book reports were by like A Time to Kill. Okay, fine. When's this movie coming out?
It brings me back a very long time ago. We had to read To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh.
So it turned out that on one Saturday night, the movie was on, and everybody was calling each other.
Yeah.
To Kill a Mockingbird's on. So the teacher, though, he was a little sly. He asked a question. He says, how did you know that the one guy who was accused of raping a woman, how did you know that his hand was mangled, that he couldn't really do it? And he said, the attorney, Atticus Finch, he threw a glass at him, and he caught it with one hand, and he went to throw it, and he couldn't catch it with his other hand. And he said, the teacher turned around and said, we all saw the movie. But that is not the description in the movie. In the movie, they just see that his hand is shriveled, and they describe it differently.
Yeah.
So, and some books are good, but the movie and the book are different. And you know, like I love The Godfather. I love the movies, but I get when I read the book, I get a different insight on it. And when you open a book and a book just sucks you in.
I can't.
Every time I think
I'm not a fiction guy. I'm a nonfiction guy.
So there's great nonfiction.
Yeah, I do like how-to books. Like that's my thing.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
So anyway, I wanted to bring print. I wanted to keep print alive with this show, and I am going to have. So it's going to be a talk show. I didn't want to do. Everybody on the internet has a talk show, and I'm not putting them down. But they're all, after a while, it becomes like kind of generic.
I'm not putting them down, but they all suck. Mine's better.
That's how everybody. Well, you have one, right?
No, I don't have one.
Oh, you don't.
I'm imitating.
I was like, ladies and gentlemen, the Coogan Show.
The Coogan, yeah.
Cloonan.
Coonan, yeah.
Cloonan. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, yeah.
That's how famous I am.
But so you were talking about a book and a movie, Blade Runner. Okay, the book is actually called, and this was discussed in the last show. The book was called "Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep?" But they put the Blade Runner. That was the original.
Okay.
That was the novel by Philip K. Dick. But now, if you go to a bookstore, you'll see Blade Runner because that's the movie. But this is "Do Androids Dream," which is very different. They mean a lot. But it's very different.
Is the movie better than the book?
They're different. They're very different.
Then why would they call it Blade Runner? That's false advertisement.
No, it still deals with artificial humans. Okay.
But doesn't Terminator deal with artificial humans?
Yeah.
Cybernetic.
Oh, okay.
Cybernetic.
That's the difference.
I don't.
In the book,
apparently.
In the book, they're androids.
What about iPhones?
Yeah. Damn, you beat me to it. Is there any Blackberries in there? Or no?
So anyway, I want to do this show about literature and literary, but the only guests I could get are comedians. So they're the only ones that'll come.
Do iPhones dream of electric sheep?
There you go.
What if it's
Can
Siri?
your BlackBerry wake up and kill you in the middle of the night? Who knows?
I ask Siri. I get Siri. Siri's angry with me. Siri won't talk.
I heard you saw the new movie. How was that?
I love the new movie.
Okay.
I did. Did you see?
I haven't seen the original or the new one. I wanted to watch the original first before I saw the new one.
You should. My son did that, and he saw it. And how about you? Are you a fan of Blade?
Any of them.
I've heard of it through
I
years.
heard of it. I've never
It's a
seen
provocative movie.
Okay.
All right, it's one of those movies that makes you think afterwards. You know, even if you think you didn't like it, you find out you're like, I keep thinking about this movie for a week or so. So I guess I must have liked it. It did something.
Right.
It did what it was supposed to do, which books do too.
And it's also Harrison Ford.
Harrison Ford. There's a lot of similarities. Thanks.
Harrison, you got me at Harrison Ford.
There's a lot of similarities with. That's not my phone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see, I'm like, it's something.
It's not me.
Not me.
I don't know. I'm hearing a delayed voice.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe it's your phone.
No.
Yeah, his phone's not even on.
Yeah, mine's not on either.
It's it's the Android.
It's the androids coming for us. The electric sheep androids.
I think Optimus Prime is transforming in the parking lot and come in and kill it.
It's like a big green monster that's like right coming through the window.
Why do I bother?
It's like the Kool-Aid Man. Comes busting in here like the Kool-Aid Man. Hey there, boys and girls.
I'm the Terminator. How you doing? I give you some Kool-Aid. Drink the Kool-Aid.
It's
Jonestown.
fantastic.
You know about it's fantastic. There
It's
was
fantastic.
Jonestown. You know about Jones? Do you learn anything at school?
No, we don't.
There was this
You
guy.
sound like
who's-
my dad. He's like, "What did they learn you in school?"
Teach
Every
you,
day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you're not in school now, right?
No,
You work a job. You work a.
kind of. Well, I'm back in EMT school, but that's different.
Stick with that. It's more rewarding than comedy.
Yes.
Very few people make money in comedy.
I noticed.
There's not a lot of. I know you love it, and it's a great feeling coming off the stage and having people who actually left. And
Isn't
if
it,
you
isn't it
record,
funny when you try to explain to people what you do and they have no idea what comedy is like? You're like, oh, so you perform it? Oh, you get paid, right? No, I don't get paid.
And drink tickets, yes. For one, a free cocktail, sure.
Wait. So what do you get? Yeah, I get 5 minutes. What do
See,
you?
the difference between now, if I write a story or something, that person will read it, and if they heckle the book, if they don't like it, and they're like, "Oh, this is garbage," I'm not on stage in front of them while they're
Exactly.
doing it. Which I get to, I have some really good material, and it depends. Some nights you kill, then some nights you got those people that came to the show just to
Yeah, heckle you.
be annoying.
Yeah, there are
Sometimes they're
people
not
who
even
come to
heckling.
a show who don't to not laugh. It's the
Some-
dumbest thing.
Well, I don't have those people anymore.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are speaking about. I never bomb.
No, but I mean,
I kill every time.
I'm not talking about even bombing. Sometimes it's not you. So, sometimes it's not that. Sometimes there's people that they're placed in the front and they're just talking during your set.
Yeah.
They're talking during everybody.
Talking to each other.
And talking to each other.
I know.
Because
they
it's
don't
their
understand.
night out. We don't get out much.
And then they turn around and they'll talk. You're depressed because these people ruined your set. But when they go home, they're going to talk about how much fun they had at the comedy show.
Oh, I love when they say, "Hey, you were funny," but weren't you talking to my whole set?
And I love when you say the worst for me, it's annoying, is when you're doing it a funny joke and they're smiling, but there's no volume coming out. They're just like
they're
this
like
the whole time.
quiet
I'm like,
talkers?
laugh, just make a noise.
Some people don't like to laugh that loud, man.
I know. It's so annoying.
So how do we play this game that you got?
So that's
There
tough.
we
That's
go.
a tough thing. All right, what we're gonna do is, I hope the guys in the back, our technicians, will put up the instructional video, and we can talk over it.
our friend
Yeah,
Bobby
sure.
Sarah.
Yeah, but you know Bobby. All
Yeah.
right, right to speak instructional video.
Is this
Now
the
you see,
couch?
there's no volume, and then it says there is nothing wrong with the volume on this video. Okay, this is how I originally planned to open Right to Speak, and I
Okay.
planned to do it like this. The literary game show. I was going to write so there would be dead air.
How are you doing?
You see, it never occurred to me that there would be so much dead air. Duh. But you can't read that. That's in black.
Is that your
okay.
living room?
It says duh. Yeah, that's in my living room. Yeah. In my den. So,
I like the pen.
but I'm writing. Yeah, I
So
made
that
the
I can
pregnancy.
explain my new game
Now-
show.
Shout out to Bobby Sarah.
Now he starts. He starts
Explaining Right to Speak.
talking. So I'm
As
As you
talking
may
and
already
I-
know, this Friday, October 6th, is the
I think the
debut
people
of a
watching
new
can hear
show
it, but
I'm
I'm
developing
explaining
called
the show.
Right
Okay.
to
So I'm
Speak.
trying to explain the
That's
show, and what I wanted us to do
W-R-I-T-E,
was
to speak.
anything we said we
When
had
I
to
explained it
write.
to my friends,
So
whom I
wanted to make
invited to be
reading
part
fun,
of
but I
this
realized that
sort of
people would
game
just
show,
be, "What the
most
hell
of
is
them were
going
left
on?" It
scratching
wasn't
their
gonna-
heads.
It sounded good in my brain, you know?
It sounded
In
very
confusion.
creative, but it's
It was
like
creative,
It,
but
it was like
You
one of those
were
ideas.
confused also.
So I decided to further
I was like, so
explain
what are
the
we
show
doing? We're
with an
reading against each
instructional
other?
video.
Yeah, then I
But
wanted to
before
do
I
like
begin,
a reading. Like
let
you
me
would
say that the
read,
fun of the
and you
first
would
few
have 3
shows
to 5
will
minutes.
be all of us involved live,
Should've
working
brought a
on
script
making
from
it work. So it's
Read
okay
what?
if
I
we
have the
goof up,
script.
and it's also
But,
okay
no,
if you are
oh, God,
confused
no, I'm not
and
gonna-
make live
But
suggestions.
and then I also
as we
wanted
develop
like
the
your
show.
bios, but
I believe
I
that
didn't-
some of the
I
fun
wanted
for the
you
first
to,
couple
like,
of shows
read
will
your
be
bio
working on
of,
the
like if I say tell me a little about yourself,
working on
you
the
read a bio of yourself.
on the
So it'd be-
bugs,
but,
working the bugs.
Okay, so
out of
see,
the
I'm
show.
explaining it, and my
So
wife
that's
was
what it'll be,
walking by
working
and
the
saying, I
bugs
didn't want
out
to
of
say
the
anything,
show.
but this
Huh.
show looks
Okay.
pretty friggin' boring. So I said, and on, and because I'm back to writing, and then I'm talking, and
spoke did in fact read
guest who was on
words
last week,
the
Saeed
exact way
Thompson.
they were written.
I sent her this
So,
video.
Even if
She
they're
said, "You know, you're
pre-written
gonna have a
like
lot of
this
dead air."
or
like,
handwritten,
what?
the other panelists are allowed to look
Yeah,
over and
that the
double
dead air.
check
So,
that work.
Anyway, we could cut this video. You have the
Okay.
idea.
Uh-huh.
And,
Rule
I
number
was
two.
trying to tell him it was creative and be nice so I can get invited back. But,
Yeah, but I don't. As I was saying earlier, a lot of people have shows, and some of them are fun.
I like that it was different though.
Yeah, I want to do
Like,
something
I
different.
just
I
want to
do
know
like
how
that.
I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
So
Like
now
that's all I care about.
you get to take the kazoo home.
I get a
okay? You
kazoo.
get a
Oh,
kazoo.
here-
Oh,
See, and I wanted when people read, I would say if they said, and I got right to the edge of a cliff. There we go. See,
And then it didn't even work.
yeah, you could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just,
I have.
they're like
yeah.
a DJ, like nah, 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 nah.
Oh, that one. There you go.
Right, that's a good one. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this is I was doing some radio. I did radio a long time ago on
Okay.
USB, and we used to do sketches. And I like sketch comedy, and I like radio. When I was younger, comedy albums were a big deal. I
Right.
don't know if they are anymore that much.
This one.
Which one?
The Steve Martin with the.
Oh yeah.
There you
All
go.
of them. Richard Pryor.
I
Oh,
was thinking
Richard
of-
Pryor Warranted was one of my favorite comedy albums.
Yeah,
I still have it on 45.
I have. Is it something I said?
Oh, I love that
I
one.
have it on CD
I love
now.
that
That's
one.
great. That one.
Oh my god.
And a lot of different. So I used to like Firesign Theater.
Okay.
right? And they were a radio group that started. They had a lot of space in the in between in the programming, so they started to do sketch comedy like Cheech and Chong would do also. So I wanted to do that originally. I wanted to do something. I didn't want to just do a talk show. I wanted to because let's face it, we're all not that exciting. That people are going to give us an hour. All right.
Speak for yourself.
And I'm saying that with other.
I don't know what you're
watch-
speaking of.
When you watch some of these other internet shows,
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, all right. Yeah.
You're
you play-
thinking that I'm watching internet shows.
Yeah.
I'm only here for the fake news, ladies and gentlemen.
So that's why I brought some great books. It's
I'm only here for the kazoo.
For the-
Like you.
Friday the 13th. It's Friday the 13th.
Uh-huh.
So I brought some cool stuff. And now I don't get to read because I'm very busy.
Okay.
But I was reading, I was reading a book about Blade Runner. My son gave
Okay.
me for my birthday this thick book, and I'm reading that. It's very interesting. Here's a book. A friend of mine who was a stand-up comedian, a very, extremely successful headliner, big on Long Island in the '80s and early '90s,
Uh-huh.
and he was on Star Search, one Star Search.
Wow.
Steve Oakes wrote a book.
I'm
my
kind of
friend
mad. What does the GED stand for? And is it what I think it is?
I think it is what we think.
Is it
Is
is?
that what it
Okay.
is? You can
Yeah.
put that on the book.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
anybody could put GED next to their name and just make them sound a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. But
Might as
it's
well just
called
put your name human. I'm a human.
it's called Midmen, the modern man's guide to surviving midlife crisis. And his picture is on the back there. Very handsome looking son of a.
I know who that guy
You
is.
know him? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Yeah, and he was a very funny stand-up comedian. This book is very funny.
He
I
did the
haven't
right
had a
thing.
chance. So I was like, and now he doesn't perform stand-up, but he performs one-man shows. He has a one-man
That's
show.
the right thing.
And he writes these great books. So I'm hoping to have Steve Oakes possibly call in next week.
Oh, that
So
would be
yeah,
awesome.
I'm gonna have, and I have another writer. Her name is Heather. I won't say her last name. I spoke to her. So I have some writers that are gonna call. So the show is gonna be more like that.
Okay.
But I still wanted to get out of the talk show. I wanted you guys to read something. But you know.
Well, most of these I've seen on TV,
What?
like The Twilight Zone and The Invisible Man.
And that just
No,
came
no,
out
no.
in theaters.
This is not the Invisible Man that you know.
This is Ralph
That's the-
Ellison's Invisible Man.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you're.
Listen, come on.
This is an amazing book. Your mom probably
Yeah, probably.
loves it.
Tell him about it. He
Okay.
He would need to know.
First published in 1952 and immediately hailed as a masterpiece, Invisible Man is one of those rare novels that have changed the shape of American literature. For not only does Ralph Ellison's nightmare journey across the racial divide tell unparalleled
I think we need to have
truths.
you read.
Yes, I will read. I will read. I don't have a problem. I screwed up. I mean,
This is
I
all
haven't-
just a fake scheme. He needs to learn how to read, and we're going to teach him on the show. This
So
is
it could
all
be
just
Benny
a-
Rizzuti,
Yeah.
GED.
Ploy.
Sorry, which way did he go, Ma?
Sound it out. Sound it out.
Okay,
Tend the
wait.
rabbits, George. Tend the rabbits.
I see the rabbits. Yeah. I see him. Wait. George and who was the guy? Lenny.
Lenny.
George and Lenny.
Yeah.
That's of Mice,
Mice
and
and
Men.
Men.
John
Yes.
Steinbeck.
It's a book. And a
great
movie,
book.
too.
Yeah, and a movie.
Wasn't
So
it
you
like
can
a-
see the
Ga-
movie.
It
I
was
think
a movie?
Gary Sinise is in it.
That's the second movie. Gary Sinise and John Malkovich
Yes.
plays.
That's the
Lenny.
one that I like. There's another one before that
The
one, right?
one before it is
Yeah.
Lon Chaney Jr. and
I forgot.
Burgess Meredith.
I know
Yeah.
Malkovich is Cyrus the Virus.
See?
Connor.
Yeah.
I figured he would like that one more than he would like the earlier one.
I never saw the newer one. I'll
Oh,
have
but
to
Gary
see it.
Sinise. Oh, yeah. Gary Sinise plays Lieutenant Dan in
That's
Forrest Gump.
okay.
That's who he
Yes.
is.
Okay, so can
So
I?
now you're going to watch
And
it.
now he's on the one of the NCIS.
Yeah,
or
he's
something.
one on the SCI.
Yeah, he's one of them in the NCI.
He's one of those things.
One of
I don't
those
watch
shows.
CBS.
XYZ. Who knows?
Yeah, well, no, it's one of those. Not the NCIS, the other one, isn't it?
CSI.
CSI.
CSI,
Isn't one of those?
Yeah, it's one of those.
I don't watch those.
Me either.
Me
Go
either.
ahead. You-
Okay,
just
let
think
me.
let him
try-
explain he would
Let me
Invisible
try
Man.
again. Okay.
Sound
For
it out.
not only does Ralph Ellison's nightmare journey across the racial divide tell unparalleled truths about the nature of bigotry and its effects on the minds of both victims and perpetrators, it gives us an entirely new model of what a novel can be. And as he journeys from the deep south to the streets and basements of Harlem, from a horrifying battle royal where black men are reduced to fighting animals, to a communist rally where they are elevated to the status of trophies, Ralph Ellison's nameless protagonist ushers readers into a parallel universe that throws our own into harsh and even hilarious relief. Suspenseful and sardonic, narrated in a voice that takes in the symphonic range of the American language, black and white, Invisible Man is one of the most audacious and dazzling novels of our time.
Yeah, I read that when I was a kid.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I bought a new copy.
Oh.
You don't want to read. The
never-
opening itself, the is it the introduction when he talks about being in a basement in Harlem when no one knows where he is, and he's tapping into Con Ed, and he has thousands of light bulbs in this basement and a record player, and he listens to blues, and he wants to have speakers so that he could listen to Louis Armstrong
Yeah.
all the time. Listen, and just when you start reading that sucks you in. And then I took an introduction to the novel in college. I didn't finish college, but I would always
we
go
noticed.
back.
That's
We
why
noticed.
we're reading
Yeah,
books
That's
on
why
Facebook.
we're reading. I want to make reading fun.
That's why we noticed.
That's
Just
why.
Sound it out when you.
Okay,
have trouble.
Twilight Zone. This is not what you think it is. because
Enter
you
a journey.
yeah, go ahead. Say
No,
it.
I don't remember
And I
the
go,
word.
"Da-na-na-na-na-na."
What's that
Imagine
thing-
if you will.
What's that thing on
Yeah.
the wing of the plane? What is? Wasn't
So
that
what-
the episode?
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
of the episodes. Yeah, 5 years the show. The show is still popular, and
It
it
was only
started
5,
1959 to 1964.
It used to
That's it.
scare me. It used to scare me.
Oh, it's great. It's great because it's a lot of science fiction stories, and science fiction could take modern situations and modern society and twist it and tell you, oh no, this is happening 50 years from now or 100. This is in the future. So they could be dealing with social commentary that's very important now, but they tell it in a different way in science fiction.
Yeah, this is Goosebumps for adults.
Yeah. And this one,
That's a good one.
my niece Melissa gave me this one, if you could see it.
That's not.
This is Twilight Zone, 19 original stories on the 50th anniversary of Twilight Zone. And it was edited by the late Rod Serling, who wrote a lot of the episodes, and he was a producer.
Why do I know
It
Rod
was-
Serling? Is it because Twilight Zone, or
Because of Twilight
was
Zone.
there anything else that he did as well, or
That's the greatest impact.
it's gonna
But then
make
he
me
wrote,
Google stuff?
oh, you want to Google? I can tell you stuff about him.
All right.
He used to write. He was one of the original people who wrote teleplays for television when it was live.
Okay.
Requiem for a Heavyweight, very famous. The Man, James Earl Jones becomes the first black president.
I've heard of it.
The Man, I saw it a long time ago. I don't even remember. And he was one of the writers for the original Planet of the Apes.
Okay, that's probably why.
But from what I understand from documentaries I've seen, and they used his ending. So that ending with Charlton Heston and the Statue of Liberty.
You
and- do you
damn
know the
dirty
movie?
apes!
No, which one?
He doesn't know the movie.
No, I never seen it.
No?
It's okay. I've never seen it either, but I know what you're talking about.
You never saw it
You
either?
get off your damn dirty apes.
Get
No,
your filthy paws off me.
no, it didn't really do anything for me.
No?
No.
How about the new ones?
the new one? No.
No?
No.
I
Oh.
had, yeah, like I would watch the trailer. Like if I'm interested, I'll go see it. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not our
not-
youth. It's just that it never
It's-
got to us.
Yeah.
But now, let me get this straight. You guys are probably big fans of Spaceballs, the movie.
He's probably not. I am. I have it
You
on
are.
DVD.
Yeah.
I don't think you don't even know what
I know
Spaceballs
of
is.
it. I
You
just
know of it.
Didn't
Okay.
see it.
The only reason you're here is because your mother's a librarian.
Yeah, pretty
Or I
much.
would throw you, I would throw
The
you
only
the hell
reason
out
I'm here
here,
is
right?
because you couldn't find anybody else. So
He's one of these
No.
new words called millennial.
I
Late-
booked you a month ago.
yeah, I know.
So it wasn't a last minute booking.
Next week we're going to teach him about dial-up internet in America Online.
Oh, yeah.
I did use AIM. I was an AIM user.
Did you probably used MySpace, right?
Yeah, I had for like
Yeah.
I didn't
2
have
years.
I never did that. My son did that. That's why. Yeah, how old are you?
24.
Okay, you're the same age as my son, so.
I don't know if I was ever on actually on it. I made one, and then that was pretty much it.
But you're on. I don't see you on Facebook that much. Like just
The kids
promoting-
aren't.
maybe
The kids
like-
don't do Facebook anymore.
just for promoting.
The kids don't do Facebook
Yeah,
anymore.
just for if I have shows coming up.
Yeah, the kids don't do Facebook.
You don't do it
anymore.
either.
I'm not.
Well,
I don't like social media. That's my problem.
I don't like being on it like all the time either, and I don't want to
Yeah.
turn into one of those people that like lives on there.
Yeah.
Like they post something like every hour.
Right.
Like then you stop wanting to. You don't care anymore. I'll just if I have a show, I'll let you know. But
Yeah, but that's it. You know.
sometimes I'll post a dumb joke, but that's
Yeah, I don't like social media. That's my problem.
Well, we are on Facebook Live, so all you people.
Oh,
who are
hey,
watching,
Facebook Live,
Thank
hey.
you for watching. How's it going?
Hey.
As I mentioned, there's no one here that
I
can
love
monitor. We can't. He loves you. There's no one here that can monitor and say this person said hi to you. So I want to say hi to everybody, and we're not ignoring you. We're trying to talk about this show about reading that people don't read anymore. I'm stuck with.
Now-
He's a millennial, so what are you? What would you?
I don't know where
You're
I'm
a
at.
Gen Xer, or you're
I'm
just-
10 years older than he is.
you're 30.
So you're
really?
34.
At 34, yeah.
So would you have been a generation?
I don't
X?
know. That's the thing. I
You
thought
don't
I
know.
thought I was Y. I thought because the Gen Xers were a couple years older than me, so I always thought like I was Generation Y.
Yeah,
That's what it was called before it was Generation. Like it was Generation X, then Y, then it became Generation Me, and now it's the whole millennial thing. I don't know what's going on. And they changed the age range for millennial, so it could be any person from 1981 all the way to like
Yeah.
2003.
Yeah, it was
Really?
really.
It's
really.
very
I thought
strange.
it was like late 90s or something.
It's not.
It's not.
It goes all the way up to like 2017.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a big age difference.
Well, I'm a baby boomer, and where
Right.
is it? The baby boomer is supposed to be from what? The 50s?
It
I
was
think
like
50 to
46,
60.
no.
Was it? I don't know.
Was it 50? I thought.
I
when
think
they
it's from
came back,
50.
Right?
I don't
So
know.
wouldn't it have been like
Because it's supposed to be after World War II.
Okay,
when
so,
everybody
Baby
came back? That
explosion,
ended in
right?
45,
So
right?
that ended in 45.
So
I
it
would
was
say
like
45.
48, 49, maybe?
My father's generation, they sired the baby boomers.
Okay.
So I'm a baby boomer.
So
But
he was
that
a
goes
World War
from, like,
II.
the
He was
50
World War II vet, or
No, Korean War vet.
That's my grandfather also Korean War.
Korean
so
War.
yeah. So like that's why I was saying 50 to like I think 61 probably. I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Was it 69? No, I mean I didn't say that to be funny. I'm thinking of
1969.
I'm thinking of hippies and yeah, 19, not 2069. We didn't get there yet. Chuck.
Yeah, but millennial is technically like, from like all the way from some people say 79 up until like
Wow,
70,
but
no.
no.
Yeah, I've seen it 3 different times because I don't want to be, what he is. No, but I don't want to be considered as a millennial because I don't fit the same characteristics that they do.
Right.
And I still know the old principles of what was.
Now, you were born in 1993.
Yes.
So, all right. So, I would say like the 90s.
That's what I would
thought
think
it was
also.
like apparently
I would say like 19 from the 90s. If you want to go to 2017, then I would say the 90s, but not even 2017. The 90s to like
it's a broad spectrum.
2005.
My phone's acting up. I can't really get to it, but I know it's like a broad stroke of
it was like
it's like a
20
20-year gap.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys really didn't do your research. You just boiled everybody up.
Yeah.
It's like I was born in 75, so I'm not with these people.
But the
I would-
millennials, generally, not all of you, but generally,
Mm-hmm.
you suck in math,
I mean,
right? You suck in
well,
math.
they
you
did.
can't-
I think your generation was the generation that they had to redo the regents. I'm almost positive.
I just missed the math A and B thing.
Yeah, because that's what my sister did. That's what happened. My
brother did,
sister,
yeah.
like in New York State, everyone failed sequential math. So they had to change it to like math A and B.
and writing, a lot of you can't write script. Can
I
you
can.
write script?
No.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
I
too.
I have
can't
penmanship
because I was
classes.
sick when.
Oh, yeah, you were sick, though.
When,
so
we did
here's
that.
an excuse. We can't.
He was sick that day.
No,
that
remember?
year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I know. You were
Oh
sick.
no, that's
Well,
why
fine.
we learned it in 3rd grade, but I was out for that time. So like, my parents always like, you can't write script. No, I can't.
No,
Yeah,
I-
but don't feel bad because no one else in your generation can.
No.
either. And I'm not going to name
Nobody
names.
even knows what it
I'm
was.
not going to name names, but quite a few people because I've done shows a long time and ask them to write, and then this is how they write. Okay? And I mean, write your name on the sign this. So
He's
they
going to
say,
show
okay.
it.
And I'm going to show you because they right to speak. So, and that's what they do a scribble. Okay?
Hey.
Can I hear? I'll make it bigger for you. And they're writing their name.
Yeah, we get
And that's
kind of
what
lazy.
they do. And
Or
nowadays,
that's a doctor prescription. That's
right?
one of
Yeah,
the-
my somebody in my family. I don't want to mention names because I get beat up when I get home.
His son.
But so we were playing
I
a
would never
game where
guess.
we were playing that game where you write these different names and then you put it on your head.
Oh,
you know?
the heads
Oh.
up or something.
My son and a couple of people put it in there, and I picked it up, and I'm like, "Oh, prescription for painkillers." I was doing it because that's how. But that is a bad thing because nowadays everything is so automatic. It's so that
You're right.
you do your card. Your card goes in a machine, and they tell you just write with a nail. So now you write, and if somebody steals your credit card, they could sign anything on there.
Yeah.
And because I'm a victim of forgery.
Okay.
Someone forged someone did a great job. I mean, they forged it so well that I thought I wrote it.
That's why you need to start scribbling.
It was so good. It was so good.
What was
my
it?
God,
Would they buy like a trip or something?
They took out some loans.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah, they took out some
They're
loans.
going
and
hardcore.
forged-
Wait, but how
Yeah,
can you
for a
take out
bank.
a loan without ID?
Okay. It was an estate.
You sound like
it
you've
was
done this
somebody's
before.
estate.
Okay.
And a relative and I, we were on this. Our names were on the deed of this estate.
Okay.
So this one person wanted money, so they took out a loan and forged. Now I don't know about how the person ever, if they called up and somebody pretended to be Benny Rizzuti. You poor sick bastard. But they signed for this loan, and this loan through a bank, and I didn't find out about it until 5 years later.
Oh wow.
Wow.
When
That long?
when we were going to sell the estate.
That's when you know you have a lot of money.
No,
when you
it
can't
wasn't a lot of
tell,
money.
when you
It
can't
wasn't-
tell somebody stole it from you. Like, what happened?
It was no,
Oh, you
it
know
wasn't-
what's a couple?
It wasn't mine.
Have bad credit like me. That way.
I wasn't power of attorney.
Uh-huh.
So the other person, the other relative, was power of attorney.
Gotcha.
I wasn't power of attorney. I never saw anything. They never showed it to me.
Right.
So that was, I take care. I did. Now I'm older. I don't really care. But I used to write my signature in script because my father taught me. The one thing my father taught me to do was to write.
writing script.
People used to always look and say, "What beautiful!" I had really nice handwriting, when I was younger. So this person actually went through the trouble of getting a hold of something with my signature on it, with my
Wow.
license.
Wow.
And they must have made a template. Like, since you kids, you millennials don't write, you don't know what I mean by a template. You know,
I know.
is you would take like somebody's name, they would write their name or something. And you
Copy
would-
paper, right?
And
Yeah.
or
You trace
not even
it.
copy paper. You took that one paper over on the other one.
Yeah.
And you kept writing on it
Until
the pen bleeds through.
Yeah.
So you do that, and then somehow, however they did it, it was perfect. It was 2 signatures. So I'm going to tell, I always said that I would only, I want to show it to like people and have them figure out, see, because I love books, I used to get a lot of books signed by authors, different authors, a lot of science fiction people. Used to get a lot. So I know, and sometimes if somebody wanted to sell me, look, I have Ralph Ellison signed, I'd look at it and I already have a few, let's
wow.
I don't,
Yeah,
but I'm
okay.
saying there are other authors, like Harlan Ellison I have. So I went to a bookstore, somebody's handing me a Harlan Ellison signed, and I look at it, and I'm like, no, this isn't his signature. This is forgery. So now, because I've done that for so many years, I spent.
He's also a notary.
I'm also a notary. Yeah.
You are? You have the
I
stamp?
don't only work for the Hair Club for Men.
No.
I'm a member. So
He's not bald. He's follically
I'm not.
challenged.
That's it. Yeah, that's good. All right. So I'm bald. I don't give a crap. I don't give 2 rats behind. So anyway, here what I was saying was I spent a few hours looking at this, and like I said, it looked so good. It looked so good, and it was 2 signatures because on a loan paper they have you sign here and then sign below. So I'm looking at the 2 of them, and they're perfect. They're Ben Rizzuti.
Like,
They're perfect.
better than yours.
Better than me. And then I found the mistake. And I write my name, so I write Ben, Z-Z-U-T-I, and even though it looks like a kind of a mess in this one, I always dot my I's, as you see. So
They didn't dot the I.
they did, but they dotted, the dot on the top signature was right next to the T.
Oh, wow.
Very close to the T, right? Now, I just throw the dot as you saw what I did. The dot was in the exact same spot in both signatures. I looked at it because they didn't
like
know.
they made it too perfect.
Well, they didn't know I was going to look at it. They
weren't expecting that.
They weren't expecting that. What happened was I had to get an attorney, and we had a deposition about it. They got a handwriting analyst. He worked for their attorney. So he said, yeah, you look at it, sure, it looks like me. Some kind of analyst. I figured it out. It took me a while. But see, also, I think I spent more time trying to figure it out because I knew I didn't do it.
Yeah.
So,
You're right.
so I knew I didn't do it.
He was in trouble with Nancy for a while, and then
No,
he had to get out of trouble.
Nancy knew I didn't do it, too. Nancy knew I didn't do it. Hi, Nancy. Hope you're
I
watching.
didn't see.
Okay.
I found the millennial
You did?
terminology.
Oh, all right.
Is that
Okay,
what you're
read
looking?
that
I was
for
like,
us.
wait,
Yeah,
you
that's-
said you hated Facebook. You've been on your phone.
No. I was been trying. I didn't have good service. So basically, millennials, also known as Generation Y, I told
What?
you.
Yeah,
I told
all
you.
right.
So basically, they're saying that it's typically the use of the early 1980s as starting birth years and the mid 90s to early 2000s as ending birth years.
Early 2000, but when you said
But still,
2017.
no. Originally, what I said was 1980 to 2003, which is still a big.
Yeah, I don't see
It
the
shouldn't be a
1980s. 1980s is Gen X.
It says no. Gen X is more the 70s babies. So a lot of the 70s kids, they were Gen Xers. I remember because
Originally I thought millennial was like at the same time the internet came out. I thought that's when, like, if you were born around then. I didn't know
that's what they believe. They believe that's what
Yeah?
it is.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, they stuck in math, so they can't write. So now I can't believe in the future you kids can't do anything.
No.
Yeah.
You
But
can't
they
do
keep changing. Some people say 1983 to 2001.
Yeah.
Some people say
millennials
late.
are-
Some people say late 70s.
That's no.
Anyway, you're watching Right to Speak, and we're talking about books a little bit, but my
Right.
great guests are Nigel Fullerton and Jack Cloonan, who I've done shows with. I love these guys. You're always invited back. Believe it or not, we're running kind of. We have like 10 more minutes.
Really?
Oh,
So
sure. Let's read.
All right, we'll read in a minute. I just want to say that we have sponsors.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The
we
show
gotta
is
pay the bills.
sponsored. We're sponsored by SpeakeasyShows.com. So for all of your entertainment needs, go to Speakeasy Shows for they book comedians, musicians. Just check them out. Great, and
You can
also,
book these guys right here.
right here. Also, we are sponsored by a web series. I love this web series.
Okay.
Cankersaurs. So you watch the video. It's about these
Wow.
two white rappers
Oh,
who were
God.
very famous a decade ago, and now they're trying to make a comeback. So let's
man.
see the.
I had that
it's a
same
commercial.
idea. Okay.
We have the commercial. Oh, it's been around. Very funny.
Oh, man.
Canker-
What's up, everybody? Welcome to our YouTube page. You know what I'm saying? We want you to subscribe now. So this way you never miss any of the Cankersaur episodes, any of our videos, any of our upcoming things we got cooking, man, interviews, all exclusive content. You know what I'm saying? Get it all right here on the Cankersaur webpage with Johnny G and MC Survive. You know what I'm saying? Word to the third, baby. Ha ha, yeah. You got anything you want to say, Johnny G?
No, I'm still counting on all the stuff we got going on. Was four carry the 2.
Minus the one thing.
Oh, that thing,
Yeah. But then
1, 2, 3. Yeah, we got like 40 things going.
And always counting.
And count. No
Word
doubt.
up. Yo, get it all, baby. Right here. YouTube.
Right here.
Subscribe, man. Click it or lick it. Ha ha ha. Yeah. Word up. Hey, and if you're on the page and you don't want to subscribe, eat that, you bitch.
So that's the Cankersaurs. I want everybody
Wow,
to
that's
watch.
great.
They're very funny.
man.
They're quick episodes. They're like 10 minutes long. They're really
Okay.
quick, and they're a lot of fun. You're sitting on a train or something.
You'll be able to watch it.
Sitting on the toilet.
Sitting on the toilet, yeah. That's how a lot of people read nowadays. I want to speak about this is a book by a good friend of mine, Carolyn McCune.
Okay.
Good friend of mine. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the
Good
last
friend
name.
of Callan Mick.
Listen,
Mick
I couldn't
no.
pronounce his name
Mick-
earlier, so.
All right.
Callan McChicken. Oh, McChicken.
Carolyn McCune gave me this book. She sent it to me. She's an author and she's a friend of mine on Facebook. And perhaps I'll have her call in one of the shows. And she wrote this book called The Rockstar and the Fan.
Oh, wow.
And this book is a convincing and psychologically astute account of adolescent trauma. So it's kind of like this young girl is into music because she was abused. And I don't know how she was really abused. So it's kind of like the Glass Menagerie, I think,
Okay.
with rock and roll.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah.
I thought that was Kurt Cobain on the cover at first.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know, but and we spoke about pretty much every book,
Except
and
for
because
Frankenstein.
it's Friday the 13th, so I brought
Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Mary's a great
That's
book.
also a good movie.
Which version?
I don't know. There's a lot of versions of Frankenstein.
The version
A
with
lot.
Robert De Niro. There's a version.
That's
with
the
Robert
Mary
De Niro.
Shelley one, I think.
Yeah, Mary.
That's-
It's
yeah,
called Mary.
it's called Mary
Shelley's
Shelley's Frankenstein.
Right. Yeah. And I also wanted to mention I was going to bring it, but I have a signed Ray Bradbury, The Illustrated Man.
Ooh.
I couldn't find. I have a copy to read, and I have a signed hardcover copy that I got personally signed by Bradbury.
You watched
I
him.
know.
You know this signature's real.
Yes, I know
Okay.
it's real. And
I told you he's an notary. Trust him.
I'm not a notary. But, that's
Need any
another
mortgage
story.
loan signed, come to this guy.
I was gonna read some of
You
my
got your stamp?
I was gonna read some of my vampire novel today, but I don't
Go
think
for
we have
it.
Go for it. How much time we
I
got?
want you to
All
put
right.
on your best Bella
Come on.
Lugosi voice.
Oh, it's not like that.
That's why
I never drink.
Come.
Come with me. You guys would be great as like.
you got the
uh,
fangs? You got
it
the
would be-
fangs?
Nigel and Jack meet the Bella Lugosi. Yeah, imitation Bela.
Bela.
But I just want to say, Illustrated Man. That's a great book to read, and it's a short read because it's short stories tied together by a man who he was the circus strongman, and he got hurt. So he had himself tattooed and figured he'd be the tattoo man while he was getting better. But he was tattooed by a witch, and they're illustrations. And at night when he sleeps, they tell stories. So he meets a guy camping at night, tells the guy, don't look at my back, you'll hear noise. And they talk, and it's a collection of short stories done that they're the tattoos on the Illustrated Man while he's sleeping, the tattoos are coming to life. And they tell a story.
That's
Great.
pretty good. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
it's a great
Sounds
book.
interesting.
Yes. It's a great book. So, want to thank you both, Nigel
Thank you.
Fullerton
Oh, thank
and Jack Cloonan,
Thank
for
you.
being on Right to Speak. And I'm going to end with, I wrote a vampire novel a long time ago called Last of the Fang-Toothed Bastards. So it's an anti-vampire novel.
I'm already sucked in.
Like there are vampire novels about love. This is
Good
about
fun.
divorce.
I'm already sucked in.
This
There
one's
you go.
about divorce.
Thank you. Thank you.
I caught
Takes a
it.
comic to point that out.
What did you say? I missed
You
what
said
you
I'm
Said I'm
already-
already sucked in.
You're already sucked in?
I got like good puns, bad puns. I just like puns.
All right. I'm going to read what this is about is actually an immortal vampire hunter who he's so sick. He's been alive for so long. He hates vampires.
Van
And he wants to
Helsing.
kill. Yeah, but what it was they were looking for a cure during the 17th century with the Great Fire of London.
Okay.
The Great Fire of London, people were dying, so they found out that disguised in that plague, in that Black Plague, there was a vampire plague happening. So they try to find a cure, so they use a little bit of blood to make a cure for vampirism, but it makes them immortal. They don't become vampires, but they became immortal.
Live forever.
So they live.
That's got to
and
be the
Like a
worst
vampire
punishment
vaccine.
ever.
There's a way to die, but it's like so painful. Like you'd have to
Oh
go
my God.
inside of like one of those shredders or something.
Go to your room for 20,000 years.
Right. So they
Imagine
found
that.
a way.
Imagine that with like the new diabetes vaccine.
Eh.
Oh, whoops. You know I have diabetes forever.
Now you got to stay alive to suffer.
Yeah, but if you're alive though, all those years, don't you get used to it? Wouldn't you get used to
I don't
Do
know.
you
That's
still
a lot
get
of.
old?
No, they don't get old.
Ah.
They don't get old. They're
don't
immortal that way, but they don't crave blood either. But as I said, they can die, but it's not easy.
That's
It's
crank.
very
I
low.
would be the crankiest, oldest young guy in the world.
So that's why it's Last of the Fang-Toothed
I'm-
Bastard.
They're
I'm
like,
prob-
kill me already.
He wants to
Seriously.
kill the vampires and then hopefully find a way to.
I'll probably
so,
be myself now.
all right.
You millennials.
So anyway, the story, the way someone in, I guess she would be a Gen Xer in the early '90s. This Gen Xer found, she found this journal, and it was written by Alex Drake. And she finds out about that Alex Drake is this vampire hunter, and he's still alive. But so she finds There are journal entries before every chapter.
Wow, you find it that interesting, huh?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Screw you.
I'm sorry.
Just for
I'm
that.
paying attention.
Just for that, you better come back next
You
week.
see that? It's comedians, right?
All right.
Freaking guy.
So these are some journal entries from Alex Drake, from the journal that this woman had found. Okay. In my profession, methods and techniques are developed by process of elimination and common sense, not superstition. A wooden stake is an effective method after one develops the technique. A garlic clove is superstition. What effect would garlic have against a vampire of Italian descent? Those people love garlic. They cook practically everything with it. So another waste of ink would be the absurdity of explaining a crucifix as defense against an atheist blood demon. And they call the vampires blood demons. So I was trying to see if I had another quick one. You're interested in it?
I'm interested. I'm interested in the fact that they live forever and everyone around them dies.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anything like that.
And here's another one, a quick one about when they were experimenting. Our new specimen, the blood demon, was of greater strength and ability compared to the blood demon of our previous studies. The advancement in this new specimen has made us aware that perhaps vampirism develops in stages.
Okay.
Excerpt from the stolen personal journal of Alex Drake. And I'm leaving you with that. I'm going to be reading more of that in future shows. So thank you all for watching. The show is Right to Speak, the game show that never really happened.
It's okay.
It will
happen.
All right.
It will happen. I want to thank my buddies here.
Can I just
once
plug?
again?
I have a show coming up November 10th at Governor's Little Room. It's located on 90 Division Avenue. You can buy tickets on governors.com, govs.com, I mean. And come see me perform, do live stand-up, headline the show. I love you guys. Please.
You're headlining?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to go. I'm a very funny man.
Nigel Fullerton and friends.
Nigel
okay.
is very
He's
funny.
really funny.
I'm all right. I do well.
Oh, very. I love him. He's very funny. Just you start laughing, you got everybody. Jack?
I have a show coming up December 1st. It's a fundraiser at the Colonial Spring Golf Course at 8 p.m. You can get tickets at laughtersavelives.com. It's with John Lavokia, if any of you know
Who
him.
has a show here on Tuesdays.
Yes.
Laughter Saves Lives. Live! And that's
Wow.
how John does it.
That's a great. So it's December 1st, so it's going to be a fun show.
All
So
right,
you should
great.
Come out, and thanks anybody, any of my friends, all two of them, for watching.
Thank you, two of his friends.
Thank you, and I will be performing here next week.
Next week.
And
Next
I'll be
week.
reading more. Thank you, and have a great weekend, everybody.
All right.